G'day, good morning. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Wanted to talk about a couple of things today. Obviously the charts, there's a no-brainer there. But also I wanted to get your guys' feedback, and I'd love you to leave your comments below. I wanted to have a look at a CL trade that I took last night. There was a fair bit of controversy or comments in a couple of discords that people couldn't understand why there was a bearish bias, why some people took a short and others didn't. But I just want to have a quick look at that. Obviously, we'll have a look at the calendar, and then we'll have a look at the bias for today. Let's jump into the calendar first. Today we've got no news, as we talked about yesterday with our forecast for the week with the calendar. No news today, so just looking at opportunities after commodities open at 9 and after 9:30 for indices. All right, let's jump over to the charts. Jump straight to oil. I'm going to have a look at the daily here. So the reason I had a bearish bias moving into yesterday was price was invalidating this bullish FEG here. Okay, and a lot of people that I'd seen comments about noted that there was also this FEG. I mean, it's very tiny, but there is actually an FEG here. It's super tiny. The reason why I was bearish, even though this candle obviously hadn't closed, it was moving down, but the main reason I was bearish was I looked at the hourly structure and I lent on the hourly structure more than anything else. And price was trending downward. We were continuing to respect bearish PD arrays, particularly through this area here. And that's why I was looking to see price move lower. We also had low resistance liquidity at the daily lows through here. Which would be a good target. So if we jump back out to the hourly, jump down to the hourly rather. This was the area that price was reacting to. This was the area of interest on the high time frame point of interest that I was looking at for price to reach. And then if we got a sweep at this level with our unicorn formation, then I was looking to take a short. So this was the 9 to 10 a.m. candle. So we had market open, and then we obviously had indices open, which still does impact. Well, it's not indices open, it's a stock exchange open, so that still does impact oil. So we had a move up, and we swept these highs. And if we drop down to the 5-minute, we'll find that. So I was watching this trade. This is our high time frame point of interest here. That's the hourly sweep. Then we got a breaker formation with a stop hunt. Everything here aligned for me to take this trade. Now, I actually took break even on this trade, sadly. But this is where you guys come in, and I want your feedback. So if you don't know, I'm in Australia. So trading New York is quite late for me. New York Open is 11:30. So it's pushing time for me. So I've had this rule where by 1 a.m., if my trade isn't closed or it hasn't hit TP, then I will manually close it. So it was right around this candle here that I closed the trade for break even. I went to bed and I woke up this morning. This was my setup here. I had price right on one tick above the breaker because it was quite a large breaker. 2R was my target. So I woke up to that this morning. Now I followed my rules, the rules I have in place, but from a mental perspective, I'm like, okay, well, can I go to sleep knowing I have a trade open? Because there's been plenty of examples where I've had trades run to very close to TP, my 2R, and then they've retraced and stopped me out. So I like to try and manage my trade from that perspective. So if I'm close to 2R, then I will look to taking profit rather than actually having it as a fixed 2R. So that's where I'm sort of a little bit stuck. You know, should I have left the trade open, gone to bed, and just what will be will be? Or did I do the right thing by closing the trade at break even? I would love your comments. Let me know what you would do in that situation. It's one of the difficulties that comes with trading from Australia is that we trade while everyone else is sleeping. And then I still have life the next day. You know, I've got to get up. My boy gets up at 5:30 in the morning. So I get very little sleep before he gets up, and then got to do and go about my business. So anyway, that's the story from CL from yesterday. I hope if anyone did take that trade, you took 2R on it. Well done. If you saw it and you played that trade, it was a great little trade. All right, let's get down to business here. Let's jump out to the daily and have a look at 6E. I'm going to now focus on 6E rather than Euro USD. They have the same formation anyway. And the reason I'm doing that is because I've added that to my trading plan. So I now look and focus on trading 4 assets for my trade plan. That is NQES, CL, and 6E. So here we had 6E swept external liquidity here as well. Interestingly though, it's quite a strong close. So that doesn't mean that I'm straight away, now that we've swept this external, that I'm going to automatically go, okay, well, I'm bearish. If I was bearish, then this gap here would be my target. But right now, the idea is we've had this strong close, which means I will drop to the hourly to see what the hourly structure is doing. Because if the hourly structure is telling me that we're still bullish, like NQ and ES, they've remained bullish. The hourly structure has remained bullish, even though we're at external liquidity. Doesn't automatically change what we're doing. So one thing I'll note here is, yes, it is bullish. We've remained bullish. We've respected bullish PD arrays on our way up here. Okay. But something to note here now is we have Monday's high. Tuesday has swept that high. Let me check that because it actually might be equal highs. So what have we got? The high is 1.11030. 1.11030. Okay, so it's equal highs here. What I was looking for is, had this swept Monday's high, then we have an opportunity for a change in the state of delivery. So I would be cautious here on 6E because we haven't actually swept a point of interest. Okay, we've come equal to that, but we haven't actually swept that. So if we do get a close below here with displacement, I would still remain cautious and see how price reacts. If we get a retest and then we push away, then that would confirm this change in the state of delivery for me. So I'm actually going to sit neutral on euro today. All right, let's go to oil. I've rejigged my setup here, so we're just going to work with the flow from bottom to top. Okay, so we obviously already touched on oil a little bit. And we did have this strong move down. Price continued to move down today. It's actually pulled up some ground. It was down nearly 1% at some stage there. We do have another tiny bullish FVG here. So I'm not surprised to see some reaction here. I'll probably look to see price, even if it does, we've already taken out yesterday's low, look to see price move up and fill this gap or partially fill this gap. My overall target for the week is still moving down to these lows here. So we'll see how price moves today. So we'll say bullish today. Let's drop to the hourly. So we've had a sweep. If we drop back out to the so we haven't swept an important level, is what I'm looking for here if we were looking for a change in the state of delivery. And we're still moving downward here, so we've definitely still got a bearish formation, bearish structure. I would like to see how price reacts to this bearish FVG. If price has a willingness to get up to here, and then if it reacts and moves to the downside. So conflicting bias there, because I'm saying that bias is bullish on the daily and we're still bearish on the hourly. You can see price has reacted here to a bullish FVG on the hourly. We'll see how price reacts once it gets up here, if it does in fact reach this level. Okay, NQ on the daily. So we closed above external. We also filled the remainder of this gap. The remainder of this gap has been filled. But I would like to see price, see if price can reach to this swing point here and even tap into this bearish FVG here, because, and the reason being is if we drop to the hourly, we still just have bullish structure. It's just continuing this momentum. There is no signs of bearish structure just yet. So we have had a sweep of Monday's high, so an important level. We've had a sweep of Monday's high. So if we get a close below here with displacement, that could be our change in the state of delivery we're looking for, to see price push lower. Until we get that though, I would remain bullish. And obviously with no news today, we have lower probability. So I'm going to remain bullish until we see such a change in the state of delivery here. ES on the daily is going to tell the same story. Strong close above. We already filled the gaps here. Strong close above. ES has definitely been the stronger asset. We're at a swing point. So we're at external. This for me would look like it might be an opportunity to start looking for a bearish idea, because we didn't get a close above this ERL. We have wicked into that and closed lower, and then we have swept previous day high, swept this external, and we might be looking to turn around here. So bearish on ES. Here's our sweep. If we can get a close with displacement through our breaker here, which is also our change in the state of delivery. We want to see displacement though. Then I would be looking for price to start moving lower on ES. Until that happens though, I'll remain bullish on the structure, which is our hourly time frame. Let's go over to gold. How did gold perform yesterday? It actually did move lower, which we predicted, but as soon as it got into this this gap here, that it just pushed straight back up. So it actually had a fairly good reaction through this level here. We are at all-time highs, so there's nothing for us to use as a point of interest over here. Price is open quite strongly today. It's nearly up at 1% there. Let's remain bullish. Well, let's say that we're bullish today. We had a strong close here. Price reacted to, we wanted to see price move lower, and it did, but it also got bought back up. And then we've opened quite strongly today. Let's see what the hourly is telling us. Similar thing here on gold. We're just pushing up, continuing to just grind higher and higher. Respecting bullish PD arrays. So we may see something like this for AM session today. So I'm going to remain bullish on gold. So we swept these lows. This was another low down here that we swept on Dixie, and I was anticipating price to move higher. It hasn't done so, and in fact we've gapped down today as well. We're also inside a bullish FEG. And if we mark the midpoint. You can probably see we've had a reaction from that level, which we have. I'm going to remain bullish on Dixie just because of where we're located. You can see on the hourly here, we have swept yesterday's low, so that's an important level. And if we can get a bullish move with displacement through here, this would be our change in the state of delivery that I'll be looking for. And then we could use that leg to project where prices may reach to. And we've got a ton, like an absolute truckload of low resistance liquidity through here. This sweep here has created high resistance liquidity. So if we can get this price to move higher here, then I can anticipate seeing higher prices and reaching for this low resistance liquidity. Let's jump to GBP for those that like GBP. And we're just remaining bullish here, looking for price to reach this external level. Just beautiful price action moving higher here. Strong close, strong close. Well, let's anticipate price taking this high. And dropping down to the hourly, we can see the same thing, just bullish price action, respecting bullish PD arrays. Every time we've come down into an FVG, we've bounced. You can see here we closed above that -4 max extension. Again, we've had a sweep of liquidity here. We can use this leg, and the -2.5 aligns perfectly with that high. So I can see that there's a good chance we'll reach that level today. Okay guys, let's wrap it up there. I hope you found today's video insightful. If you did, please like and sub. Greatly appreciate it. Remember, I'd love to hear your feedback on the CL discussion at the beginning. I'd greatly like to see your interaction there. If you're looking to jump onto any evals, make sure you use code Jimmy for MFF, My Funded Futures, and Apex. And have a great Tuesday. See you tomorrow, guys.